It's the Seth Justice Show. Welcome in. Obviously, I'm Seth Justice, at Justice_radio on Instagram, at Seth Justice Show on X. And, you're probably listening to this on either one of these two other platforms, but hey, either way, Spotify, YouTube, the Seth Justice Show. Got to lots to talk about. Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James. We're also going to talk some conspiracies here today because there is one that has grabbed my attention, and I don't know. We got to talk about it. Plus, we'll talk about a whole bunch more going on in the week that has been. So let's get it started. Let's talk some Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James because they feuding right now. Like, they feuding. Like, I haven't seen something like this since Kendrick and Drake. Well, I guess Alabama Barker and Bad Baby, but I don't know. This seems a lot more personal. Like, I feel like now we're going to start getting feuds like once a year, which I'm totally okay with because I love the chaos, and it's just like, yes, feed me all the negative vibes. I need it. Like, I'm trying to be my positive self. That doesn't mean I don't like some negativity and drama. I absolutely positively do. So, Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James, keep doing what you're doing, but let's not get personal. All right, let's not do that. And that's what things are seeming to go right now. And I'm assuming LeBron James has had beef with Stephen A. Smith for the longest time because, Stephen A. has been bashing LeBron for as long as I can remember. And yeah, it is honestly, to be a sports broadcaster like Stephen A. Smith, you gotta kind of have to ruffle some feathers. I mean, Kwame Brown, some other players he pretty much squashed, and they were never the same afterwards. And LeBron, being LeBron, is like, no, I'm not a big fan of this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my get back. And not only that, and I feel like this was the last straw for everything, but Stephen A. went in on Bronny James, LeBron's son. And he was like, he's not an NBA player, he's a Nepo baby, goes on and on and on and gets super personal with it. LeBron James then goes to Pat McAfee's show, which, by the way, I know we've talked ad nauseum about this, about, accepting the you that you are. Pat McAfee does that better than anybody else. Like, he is a confident dude. Some people say he's cocky, but if you actually, listen to him, he's just him. And if you need any pointers or tips, Pat McAfee, the dude to do it. Lovable guy, blue collar dude, and he was in the NFL, was a punter, and I mean, just a dude who loves a good conversation. So, if you need some tips on how to be, accepting of you, Pat McAfee may be a good, little inspirational tool because that dude has pretty much turned his entire life into a crazy life. And some people say he's cocky, but honestly, if you listen to him for more than 5 minutes, you're just like, oh, okay, I understand now. Anyway, back to this. So LeBron was on Pat McAfee's show, and LeBron finally got his get back. He was going off on Stephen A., joking about how he's like a Taylor Swift and did some kind of analogy on that. He also essentially made fun of his Stephen A. Smith's boxing style and how he's not athletic, how he's essentially just going after Stephen A. Smith. And this was you could tell it was kind of planned on how they do that because Pat McAfee is just after First Take. First Take, then Pat McAfee, and then you go on to the endless amount of Sports Center and other crap that's on ESPN anymore that isn't, anyway, we're not going to get it. But it is so funny to me because this is all just chaos. And now a week or two before, Stephen A. Smith was just like, I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have gone there. And now he did this after Bronny scored a career high at this point, and Stephen A. was like, you know what? Maybe there is some potential. But LeBron James was not having it. He was like, you come after my family. He was like Liam Neeson and Taken. He's like, yeah, I'm going to find you. And I'm going to use my words instead of, pew pew. But anyway, so LeBron says all that. And then Stephen A hears about it. Obviously, Stephen A can't respond. He probably did on X or something like that, even though LeBron, after Pat McAfee's show, went on an X tirade. Like, this is hilarious stuff. LeBron on X is phenomenal. And whether you agree with him, disagree with him, whatever, it is just comical because of how he states his opinion, we'll say. Everybody has an opinion, just like everybody has one of those, and, butts, we'll say. Everybody has a butt. But he is, I don't know if he's just out of his mind or is just so far removed from everything that, anyway, doesn't matter. LeBron James, he went on a X tirade. And then the next day, Stephen A. Smith goes on First Take and gets real personal with LeBron James, saying how he never went to Kobe's memorial service. He never did this. He's not there for his family. And how LeBron is just a fake. He's not real. He's this, that, and the third. And then he goes, you know what? I'm going to be Will Smith the next time I see LeBron James and Chris Rock. Yeah, that's going to be LeBron James's face. He's going to smack him across the mouth. And I'm just like, Stephen A., you don't want to do that. LeBron's got at least 10 years on him, we'll say. I don't know exactly. I don't know how old Stephen A. Smith, and I don't know how old LeBron James is. I'm not that up to date on this stuff, all right? At least not like on ages. All right, that's not my thing. Anyway, so he said that, but it's like, Stephen A., man, don't do it. Don't do it. Let's just get 3 to 6 months out of this, or let's take it to the end of the NBA Finals or whenever the Lakers get out of the playoffs, whatever. And then let's, squash the beef. But as of right now, let's just keep it wordplay, shall we? And because of Stephen A., the celebrity boxing people were just like, hey, we can set up a fight right now. We can have you versus LeBron James, one-on-one, in a boxing match, winner take all, which whatever that means. Winner take all of what? Like pride? Is LeBron James going to then be on First Take instead of Stephen A. Smith? I have no idea. Like what does winner take all even mean, you dum-dums? But anyway, it's just, why would you do that? Both of you make hundreds of millions of dollars a year, also billions of dollars a year. You're not going to do that. And of course they're not going to do that. Now, would that be probably the biggest entertainment thing that's happened in a long, long while? Probably. But it's also just, like, you don't have to do that. And just to offer it, so now it's almost like fodder for these two. Like, Stephen A. Smith's like, I'm down for it. Let's do it. And then LeBron James is crickets, or LeBron James is like, yeah, we doing this. We're going to have it out. We're going to like punch each other. It's going to be great. I'm here for it. And then Stephen A. doesn't say anything. And in that case, that's great fodder. Love it. Negativity. Like I said, I want to be positive. Love the drama. Love the negativity though. But no one in their right mind is going to expect this fight to be an actually like good fight. Nobody. It's just going to be two dudes who have no knowledge of boxing or fighting trying to do their thing, and who honestly make so much money that they're probably detached from the entire world. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, if you have the money to be that way, carte blanche, do whatever the hell you want. I mean, that's it. You did it. You made your money, and now you're making more money. So it's just like, there's no way that this fight is going to happen. No way. And like I said, the best schedule that this can go is that one of those two then wants to fight and then says the other one doesn't. And then the other one says the same thing. And then they're going to go back to the personal stuff. And then they're going to continue this going. And then they're going to have a sit-down interview. And then they're going to squash the beef, which is going to ruin our entertainment because, again, negativity is fun. But it's just like, this is wild to me. Like, to have these two, and I think this is what, linear television, or I think this is what, society is wanting. At least one beef, possibly two, that are just like huge mainstream things, because we had Kendrick Lamar and Drake last year. We've had quite a few over the years. Some of the biggest beefs have created some of the, most essential things. And you can go back to, wars and trying to, and not saying that it's a good thing, wars. Not out of context. But some of the, to get yourself into that mode to progress and move forward, sometimes you need a little chip on your shoulder. And Michael Jordan used to do it all the time. Like, I just saw like something on TikTok where he was just like, I'm going to, guard this one person because they talked about me in the papers, and I'm going to show them. Now, were they just doing that to, get some people's eyes on it and get people excited? Sure. But even like Michael Jordan would just create things, and Charles Barkley would call him crazy because of how he acted. Like, he would play 36 holes of golf, then play a game for the United States men's national team, and just be a savage. Just be a savage. And I think that mentality, I think everybody can have it. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter, what gender you are. If we have that savage bone in our body, I think we're a lot better for it. We shouldn't be like complacent or anything. We should want to, like, as soon as somebody says something, then prove them wrong. Maybe not physically, but eventually, like, hey, you think I can't do this? Watch me. Watch me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go like a Ric Flair, woo, and then elbow drop you and then be like, except more wordplay. But with Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, it doesn't make sense for them to do anything more than wordplay. And honestly, if this is going to like kick LeBron James in the rear and get going and get on fire and then go through the playoffs and possibly win another ring, well, that's something that LeBron... Oh, my goodness. What if this was a plant? Now, we're going to get more into conspiracies here in just a second, but that would be hilarious if this was like a plant. Like, they both talked about this. Like, they were actually friends, and they have been friends for the longest time. And what if they were just like, you know what? We need to get some, we need to get something going here. We need to be like, oh, that would be so good. Yeah, LeBron, let's do this. You go on Pat McAfee, then I'll talk about you, and then we'll have somebody say, oh, we're going to have these two box in our celebrity boxing promotion, and then we can just keep this going until the end of the regular season, end of the playoffs. And then at the finals, you're like, see, Stephen A., I did it. See, proved you wrong, and this is what a champion... Oh, my goodness. That would be... Oh, there's some craziness. And I am this is just purely me, like, coming up with random things just to say because... Well, it just comes to my brain. So there is no proof that this is actually happening. But if there is, oh, golly, that'd be perfect. But either way, Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James, keep the wordplay going. Let's not, get too personal with things because, that's how somebody gets hit. But let's keep the feud going just so we can see what happens. And if this is a plant, great idea. Oh, because you got to keep your name going. You got to keep everything. I love it. And speaking of other conspiracies, oh, my microphone just fell. That's cool. Speaking of other conspiracies, so this week, there was apparently some released data on the pyramids. And people did like some sonar stuff, or I don't really know the name of it, to be honest with you, but it's where you have a machine that could look down into the pyramid and see what's going on inside. And apparently somebody found through this that the pyramids, they're not just like a pyramid or anything, and inside there's, just more of those giant bricks, we'll call them, that cover everything, and then underneath is the tomb. That's not necessarily true. Apparently some people have found in these studies, in these whatever, that there are giant cylinders that go, I think, about 600 meters down into the Earth's crust. And there's multiple of them. There's quite a few, and it's almost like it's holding it up. But the really weird thing is that there's something that goes around those cylinders. And some people are theorizing that they're actually staircases. So you have these giant cylinders and staircases in the pyramids. Now you think about that and you're just like, wait a minute. Let's go back in time to before technology, before anything. The bricks you can somewhat understand, and being able to get done in a certain amount of time, and then possibly, having a ship, and there's somewhat of an understanding. I mean, people are still just like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm with you, because if I was, tugging on those bricks, I'd be like, I can't do it. My back, and then I'd probably, be executed or something like that. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, and so the bricks, people are just like, we can kind of accept that. These cylinders, though, they don't make any sense. Like, if you look at like the Roman Empire, or the Roman Empire, where they have the buildings with those pillars or columns. There we go. Columns. And you're just like, okay, you were able to do that, but they're not 600 meters going down into the earth. They're not. I mean, they're maybe 20 feet tall. Maybe. And I'm not even sure 600 meters is accurate. I don't even think we know for sure how deep those things go. But how are they able to make those? Because that is a lot. Not only that, because some people are just only focusing on how were they even possibly making those. How were you able to plant those into the ground? And how were you able to then do all this stuff? Because thinking about it, wouldn't you have to put those in first? Or am I tripping? Like, of course, you'd have to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. A lot of digging. You'd have to do so much digging. And then you'd have to get those into that area. How does that make sense for somebody who's wearing a loincloth? Or someone who, their only form of entertainment is, a stick and throwing it, or, I don't know what the ancient Egyptians did for fun or anything like that, but they didn't have smartphones. I know that. They didn't have TV. So how are they able to get these giant cylinders into the ground? And not only that, create steps going around it, if they are steps. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then people say, aliens. Now, most times, we're like, maybe, those aliens, they have these tractor beams. They can pick them up and go boop, 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 boop. And somebody else said, what if life isn't necessarily just an evolutionary curve where you start at one point, essentially zero, an amoeba, and then it goes exponentially up? What if it's truly a cycle? What if people are finally understanding that life is a cycle? That, maybe at times we were actually smarter than what we were, or maybe sometimes we're actually dumber than what we were, but we're smarter than a different time and era, and we are able to develop more. What if it was more of a cycle? What if life isn't that evolutionary curve or line going forward or upward or whatever curve? We'll stick with that. And I'm like, well, that's possible, but what proof do we have? Of course, this happened thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So we don't necessarily see all the tools that were used. We assume the tools that were used. And we assume that it was just piece of wood, stone, carving away. Just carving away. Just go, just carving away. And that very well may be, but how are you going to make that giant cylinder that's 600 meters in the ground and is ginormous? Like, that is the one thing that I can't fathom. And then people say, well, it must be aliens. Well, I'm inclined to say there was something. I don't know if there's aliens, and if there are aliens, how you doing? I'm your friend, not your food, or foe, either one. But it is just wild. And then something else happened, and I don't know if this is like TikTok AI going on. I don't know what it is. But apparently over in Europe on Thursday, there was this blue swirl that was in the air. Now, most times I would say, it's probably just AI. Somebody going on and being like, I'm going to mess with people right now. I'm going to make them feel like the aliens are coming. And I'm going to do this. Mom, where's my meatloaf? And, that's a possibility. Or it actually is the aliens, and they're saying, you are getting too close to the truth here. Remember those tractor beams that we were talking about? Yeah, we still have those. In fact, we've enhanced them however many thousands of years it's been since the ancient Egyptians. So, yeah, be careful. I mean, that I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's an AI thing. I saw that. And I read a little bit about it, but I haven't seen anything since, which is also bringing up conspiracy theorist vibes of, well, are they hiding something? Are they? But I don't know. It's just, it is wild to me how you can go from talking about the pyramids, then all of a sudden a blue swirl shows up. And then things start happening, right, around the world. And you're just like, something is fishy here. And I'm not like the biggest conspiracy theorist in the world, but I am a curious person. Like I'm somebody who wants to find out an answer. I'm somebody who will dive semi-deep, but I'm not a researcher of things. I'm not, paranoid about aliens coming down to, hunt us down and blah, 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 or aliens coming to, change our world. Like, if they're going to change our world for the better and give us new technology and help us, progress and expand, great. Great. I am here for that. If we're just lambs to the cosmic slaughter, well, maybe not so much. I like living. Seems like a pretty fun thing to do. But it is funny how on a Monday we find out about the pyramids, and then on a Thursday we hear a blue swirl. Like, coincidence? Very well maybe, and it very well may be somebody being a troll and doing a TikTok AI thing. Very well maybe. But if it's not, think it's something we should be interested in. And especially since week prior, we got the JFK documents and 1,000+ pages of JFK fun time, which people are still, sourcing through. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of does the brain a little melting, and you're just like, what do we do here? I guess we gotta just wait and see what happens. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell this quick story to moving on and out of conspiracy theory land and moving on into something that's, a little bit more personal for me. So on Friday night, had this really cool experience of teachers versus DJs at a school here in the Capital Region in Galway. And let's be honest here. We were doing this for the kids. And if you can get the underlying message of that, then okay, we're good there. But so the game was the game. It was a lot of fun, and we were. Let me add to what I said previous. The fourth quarter, it was 40 people versus 5 of us. It was entertainment. There you go. Set it out into the world. But at the end of the game, a really cool kid named Damien came up to me, and he was like, "Hi, I wanted to give this to you. It's a sign I made. It says, 'Go DJs.' I drew that, and then my brother drew this on the back, and he gave it to me." And it was such a cool thing. It was such a sweet thing to do. And honestly, it was a moment where I was in awe, because I was just like, I am honored to get this, piece of paper that this kid spent some time on to, draw me, or not draw me, but draw of itself, draw for himself, and then to bring to this game, and then to give it to me. There's not a lot of moments where I get that instant gratification. And I love instant gratification. It is one of my favorite things. I am not a patient person. But for somebody to, watch the game and be like, "Oh, he seems cool. I'm going to give him my sign." It's a moment that, makes me feel good. And it's a moment where I'm like, I am where I need to be, doing what I need to do, and being a part of a community to help them out with, what's going on with them. And it makes me so happy. So I am honored. Damien, thank you for the sign. Thank you for coming to the game, and thank you everybody who came out to the game, because it was sold out. The place was packed. So we appreciate that, and thank you so much. And it's funny it is not a minor thing, but it's one of those little things in life that can add to your positivity. It's one of those things that can help with mental health, and being able to be a part of that, and to be able to grow and say, what, I am helping somebody out. And how cool is that? It is so gratifying to actually be able to do some good. And the fact that that little kid thought to give me his sign, it was such an honor. So thank you Galway Schools for having us out, and it was it was a really cool night, and got to hang out with a lot of my friends here at the radio station, and got to, just shoot hoops, even though I feel terrible afterwards. Like, my legs, I haven't done anything supremely athletic, and I am not athletic at all. I am a scrub when it comes to basketball and other sports. Like, I am average at best. But I am so sore. If this is 30, I don't want it. I don't want it. Take me back to my 20s. I don't want to do that anymore. So I am, no, not having that. But I'm very happy that I was able to go out there and have some fun. And while having fun, hopefully, motivate people to do fun things, to live a life that they want to live, because I am. This life that I'm living right now, I am very appreciative for. And I'm very happy that I'm able to live this life. So, yeah. Yep. Very, I don't know, like, very, it's a relief to be able to do what I'm honored to do each and every single day. So, thank you for that. Got to do more, though. Got to do more. And that's the part of my brain that kind of irks me sometimes, but got to do more. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future and being able to see if I can help more people, because that's what I really want to do. And if that means make you laugh, make you have a conversation, make you, I don't know, feel inspired, cool. That makes me happy. So, either way, that is the Seth Justice Show this week. Thank you so much for listening. At Justice_radio on Instagram, at Seth Justice Show on X, the Seth Justice Show on Spotify and YouTube. So, thank you so much for listening. And, I think that's it. Bye.